question time, it's answer time, it's Ask Abby Science. Hello, third grade. Thank you for sending me all of your questions. So I'm going to try to answer them all as fully as I can. So I'm going to split this up into a bunch of different videos. But the one I'm going to start out with today is what do I do at work every day? I do a whole bunch of different things as a scientist. There's a bunch of different steps they have to do an experiment. The first thing I want to start out with is I read and read and read and read. So I might read something like this to start out with. This is, just a textbook like you might see in your classes. This is a textbook I read in college that has to do with molecular biology, so the small building blocks that make up living things. So I might read this to get sort of a basic idea of what we currently know about these things, sort of the things we've tested a bunch of times, and it's like a really good model for understanding the world. After I do that, I'm then going to move on to something like this, which we call a journal article or a scientific paper, or we'll just call it a paper. And this is basically somebody else, another scientist has done experiments, and this is them writing up what they've done and sharing it with the rest of us. So in here, you can see there's a lot of words. It's all what they've done in their experiment and what the background is, why they did what they did, and in the end, what they think it means. And they communicate their findings in these pictures. You can see my notes all over. And these pictures tell you about the data, the things they learned from their experiment. So you can kind of see it at a quick glance and understand it better. You can also see over here are some, you might recognize they're bar graphs that are communicating some numbers that they found. So this is a way that we communicate what we found. So after I've read a bunch of those and sort of understand what other people have done, that's when I start doing my own experiments, which I usually do. I stand at my bench, and so I'll do a whole separate video on what those sorts of things I do. And while I'm doing that, it's really important that I take notes. So this is just one page of my notebook. I have a whole nother notebook full, and this is halfway full. So I take lots of notes about what I did and then what the outcome was, what the results were. And with that information, so if I have to go back and either share with other people what I've done or do it again, I need that information, and everyone else needs it to repeat what I've done. And then the final step would be to share the information. So you might do that in a journal article like one of these. We also have lots of presentations where other scientists will come to my work and they'll present the stuff they've done. We call those seminars. And then also we have conferences where a bunch of scientists all get together, and we have a lot of presentations and we talk about what we've done and come up with new ideas together. So yeah, that's a brief overview of some of the things I do on my day-to-day, and stay tuned for another video on that kind of stuff as well. We had questions, now we have answers. We asked Abby Science.